Chief economist, also global strategist Peter Schiff. Emerging market central banks have been buying gold for a long time. Look at that, go all the way back a decade or so, folks. These are central banks, not the ECB or the Fed. Let's bring in Euro Pacific Capital Chief economist, also global strategist Peter Schiff. All the way back a decade or so,
folks. Let me just raise a point here with this chart. Of course, the World Gold Council is a gold pumping organization. Right, this just shows you buying of gold. It doesn't show you selling of gold. Just more propaganda. You're getting disinformation. You see, central banks buy and sell gold. They buy gold and they sell gold. They're just showing you here the buys. They're not showing you the sells. And typically, central banks will buy gold just prior to a fall in a currency, especially if it's a foreseeable fall by the central bank, and if it's a substantial fall, they will buy gold just to put the currency into something, and then they will sell it. You see, after it's collapsed, they'll buy the currency back. That's how it works, okay? Buying and selling of gold. And so, I'm not quite sure. I guess the whole point, they want to show you that central banks, I don't care what central banks are doing. It doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, all I care about is what the stock market is doing.
Folks, these are central banks, not the ECB or the Fed. Let's bring in Euro Pacific Capital Chief economist, also global strategist Peter Schiff. All right, Peter, gold obviously rocking. Everyone's obviously jumping on.
Looks like Peter's hair transplants just aren't going too well. He's been trying for several years, it looks like. Peter, I suggest you reach out to Elon Musk. I don't know, maybe I guess Musk has got a lot more money than you do. Maybe that's why.
On a bandwagon, the question is, why now? Why at this particular time?
So, Charles Payne has given Peter Schiff the opportunity to pitch his gold. And to be honest, Peter, he doesn't look to be completely sober, I'll be honest with you. He looks inebriated, I'll be honest. Maybe that's just my imagination. But if Payne was honest, he would say, Peter, you've been saying buy gold, and you've been saying buy it now, month after month, year after year. You understand? This takes advantage of people who don't know Peter Schiff's history. He's always pumping gold. This is dishonest content by Charles Payne, who's a penny stock promoting scam artist, by the way.
Well, gold's probably going to close at a new...
Yeah, okay, who cares? So here's the deal, folks. How is this connected to Yahoo Finance? Well, you might know the name Brian Sozzi. Yahoo Finance. Brian Sozzi. Let's take a look, Brian Sozzi. So Yahoo Finance, and I've got their number. Okay? I've got their whole fucking number. Yahoo Finance, just like all these other media firms, they were promoting all these broken clock scam artists. They've been doing it for years. And so Brian Sozzi is one of the newer members. I think he came around, 4 or 5 years ago or something like that. But let's call it 5 years ago. And so let's take a look here at his little bio. Okay. He was previously the executive editor of publicly traded finance media company, The Street. So The Street is a scam company. The Street is Jim Cramer's portal for which he uses to guide his CNBC audience into this whole portal of his gang of scam artists that publish, trading nonsense. The Street is such a scam company that they were accused and found guilty of accounting fraud, and they were delisted from the stock market, by the way. Okay. Now, I'm looking here because Brian Sozzi, let's see, he says he began his career on Wall Street as a sell-side analyst covering retailers, banks, and numerous other sectors. Okay. Sorry, dude, you're not a real analyst if you're covering several sectors. That's a bunch of nonsense. So that begs the question, what Wall Street, if he began his career on Wall Street, well, where did he work? Did he work for a legitimate firm? Because I don't think so. If he's supposedly covering all these sectors, he's not a legitimate analyst. Okay, let's see where he worked. Doesn't say here. Interestingly, he doesn't tell us why won't he tell us the name of the company? That's what I want to know. Well, let's take a look, see if we can shed some light on that. I'm going to show you. Here's Brian Sozzi's analyst experience with Wall Street Strategies, a known scam company. This is Charles Payne's affiliated company. He is, I don't know to what extent Charles Payne, he's got his name on this company as if he's like the CEO. He's probably how it works is, they want his media celebrity. So you probably got these boiler room guys who really run the show. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess, probably. And so this is where Brian Sozzi was an analyst. That's his experience. That's right. Let's take a look here. So you can see this is some slide here that shows Brian Sozzi, Wall Street Strategies. You can see that. That's where he worked as a so-called analyst, where he began. This is not Wall Street, folks. The only resemblance this Wall Street Strategies has with Wall Street is the first two words of the name. This is a boiler room publishing house. Graduated from Dowling College. Okay, great. So, of course, Mr. Sozzi wants to tell you how he's a frequent contributor to the media. That's what all these scammers do. Oh, I've been in the media. Because he has nothing really to show you about himself worth a damn. So you can also see Benzinga, the scam website, promotes this guy. He was basically a retail analyst. And you can see, of course, Brian Sozzi is promoting Tony Robbins, right? That tells you right there. Now, I mentioned that Charles Payne is a scam artist. You can see how he was fined by the SEC because he was taking money to promote what became worthless penny stocks. And he didn't disclose that. It's illegal. You can't do that. Okay? That's not where it ends, folks. That's not all we got here. Because you see, we also have a guy. Let's just go ahead and listen to Brian Sozzi. Give you a look at him here. You can see what he looks like.
With better than expected earnings on the back of all things snacks and, well, maybe some higher prices for those snacks. Let's welcome in Mondelez chairman.
It's funny because I remember hearing his staff like a couple of years ago or so, and every once in a while you may hear it. Oh yeah, well you're an analyst. They were kind of hyping Sozzi up. Oh yeah, you're a former analyst, and like he was like a legitimate person. Brian Sozzi was working at a fucking boiler room, led by Charles Payne. That's his experience. But it doesn't end there, folks. And I've exposed this before. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Here's another guy you may have seen, Jared Blickre. Now, see this guy, Yahoo Finance? Let's take a look here. Recognize him.
Inauspicious close to the month. It's all red in the sector action. Let me show you what's happened in these 21 trading days of.
This is a guy who he wants to kind of show you like he's Mr. Technician guy. Like he knows the market. He knows technical. So see, that's what this Jared Blickre does through Yahoo Finance. Remember, Brian Sozzi was with Wall Street Strategies, which is not a Wall Street firm. It's a fucking Charles Payne-led boiler room. Charles Payne is the Fox News or the Fox Business fucking scammer who was fined by the SEC for promoting penny stocks. Show you here once again. There you go. Recognize this guy? See that? So, see that? The media scam. So, we also have, in addition to Brian Sozzi, who worked, let me go ahead and show you again, once again, Wall Street Strategies. Here we go. Brian Sozzi promoting career con man Tony Robbins, who also now is promoting himself as a financial and business expert. See, Brian Sozzi, research analyst at Wall Street Strategies. Wall Street Strategies. Okay, interesting. Oh, look. Charles Payne's Wall Street Strategies. There you have it, folks. That's what you get from the media. I mean, you think it's hard for me to expose these fraudsters on YouTube? I exposed the fucking mainstream media, the financial media fraudsters a long time ago. All these guys. It's easy. Easy fucking pickings. So, who's the next guy on Yahoo Finance? Jared Blickre. Right? Jared Blickre. Showed you the guy. Let's take a look at his bio. This is interesting. He doesn't really tell you much. Look. He just produces all the finance all the time. That's what he says. In his spare time, he writes and talks about trading. But, Jared, what about your previous experience? You know, Brian Sozzi wanted to tell you he went to some fucking no-name school. Right? Well, that's in his other bio. Right? He wants to tell you he worked as an analyst. He was with the street scam. Right? Jim Cramer's scam. But, Jared, what about you? Interesting. He's not showing you. Why is that? Anyone want to guess why? Well, Mike Stathis uncovered this several years ago about this scammer. Jared Blickre is a zero hedge plan. If you don't know zero hedge, I did a 90-page expose on zero hedge about 10 years ago. Fucking scam boiler room, and of course, they're in the cabal. That's why they only promote members of the cabal. Fear-mongering cabal tribesmen. You can take a look, whether it's Harry Dent or Peter Schiff or David Stockman or John Hussman or so on and so forth. Okay? Disinformation, Russian propaganda, bullshit. Zero hedge is another disinformation bullshit scam. It's telling everybody basically to stay out of the stock market. Why? Guess what? They promote risky, speculative Forex trading. Okay, not only that, and you'll notice, so let's take a look at Jared Blickre. Take a look, see that face? What do we have here? Well, I want to show you something. Who is this? You see this guy? Look familiar? Anybody? What do you think? What do you think? Is this Jared Blickre, yes or no? What do you think? You want to see the picture again? Huh? What do you think? Is this Jared Blickre? You better damn well believe it is. He was on RT. This is a long time ago. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got here. Wait a second. His name is Bob English. Wait a second. Take a look at that face. Howdy doody face, right? Take a look. Notice how he's got the glasses now. I think it's a disguise, I'll be honest with you. Looks like a disguise to me. What do you think, folks? I could be wrong. I don't think so. Why don't you reach out to Jared Blickre and see? Maybe he's got a look-alike. Let's take a look here. Remember, he's not telling you anything about his background. Why is that? He's trying to hide. I could be wrong. It's possible. You decide. He went by Bob English. Okay? This is the name he went by. And RT, by the way, in case you didn't know that they were Russian shills, I knew it a long time ago. This is the guy from Zero Hedge. Okay? From Zero Hedge, Bob English. He was the guy promoting currency trading, speculative Forex trading, telling you to stay out of the stock market. This is why Yahoo Finance was promoting all these doomsday clowns that cause people to stay out of the stock market, like David Stockman, complete clown, Peter Schiff, so on and so forth. Think about this now. Yahoo Finance, if I'm correct, and I believe that I am, has a guy who won't tell you his real name, or maybe Jared Blickre is his real name, and he was using Bob English as a fake name. Why are they lying? Yahoo Finance is committing massive cover-up fraud. They've got a zero hedge plant working for them. Now, I'm not done. It's not over, folks. Guess why? Because Brian Sozzi and Jared Blickre, or Bob English, let's take a look here. This is Jared Blickre on Yahoo Finance. And so if you look into his, you can see he had his own little Forex company. Okay, he doesn't tell you that in his bio. Why? He's trying to hide. Take a look. And he also worked, here you go, Precision Capital. This is a Forex company. Okay, see that? Look at that. RT full-time anchor. You see that? You all understand what's going on here. Yahoo Finance has got a fraud who is lying about his background. He worked at Zero Hedge. Do you understand that? And he used a fake name of Bob English. Take a look. We're not done. He also promoted, when he was on RT, con artists like Mike Maloney and his fucking bullshit. This is why Yahoo Finance has a bunch of trash, boiler room garbage. Okay? Not done, though. Who are some of the other bullshit artists that are affiliated with Yahoo Finance? Well, another guy that's hiding, by the way. You don't see him on the crew of Yahoo, but if you sign up for their premium services, and you got to have rocks in your head if you fucking do that. And I know this because they every once in a while they'll have a kind of a free session. They've aligned, Jared Blickre has aligned himself with another bad player who happens to, by the way, be in the same little gang. All these guys are in the same gang. They're related. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Who is that person? Well, here he is. His name is J.C. Peretz. Exposed this guy many years ago. J.C. Peretz. Folks, this is the circle jerk. It extends it's very vast. This circle jerk extends back. He's Josh Brown's buddy and former co-worker at WestRock. WestRock was the brokerage firm. You know Josh Brown, the guy promoted on CNBC as an expert, the fast-talking clown who gets just about everything wrong. He's Barry Ritholtz's buddy. He's the reformed broker who got promoted. Meanwhile, he got promoted in 2008 and 2009, and thereafter, I was being banned. And they promote some guy, some failed stockbroker, whose firm, WestRock, was shut down by FINRA for defrauding customers for many years. That's right. WestRock was shut down. You don't believe me? Take a look. It was shut down. Well, take a look right now. The point is that J.C. Peretz, and he was, let me show you his, it's his J.C. stands for Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos. And you can see Juan Carlos got into some trouble here. You can see, WestRock. You can see WestRock. FINRA expelled the firm. See that? Okay. See that? So, there you go. And so you can see Money Show. This Money Show is a fucking scam event. You've got a disgraced broker, J.C. Peretz, working for the boiler room, Yahoo Finance, kind of behind the scenes, providing some bullshit with Jared Blickre, who went by a fake name Bob English when he was working with Zero Hedge, which trashed the stock market. It's been doing it for 15 years, telling you to trade risky currency, foreign currencies. And, of course, Brian Sozzi, who works for Yahoo Finance, who worked for Charles Payne's boiler room shop. Folks, you understand what I'm talking about? The circle jerk now? I've got the number for all these motherfuckers. They can't hide from me. I know the whole deal on all these fraudsters. Okay? You really think YouTube fraudsters can pull one over on me? I can be fucking stone drunk and detect the fraudsters. They're all scammers and idiots. And for you lurkers out there, let me just go ahead and tell you, you can't use discounted cash flow to value stocks unless they're value-oriented companies like U.S. Steel and Alcoa and companies like that. It doesn't work with high-tech stocks, you fucking dummies. You're defrauding people. You're scamming people. And even for companies that are value-oriented like U.S. Steel, you don't know how to use discounted cash flow. You're a fucking chump. Stop defrauding people. Everything Money Paul, you're a scammer. Stop defrauding people. You're an idiot. You're a fucking real estate rental boy. Stop scamming people, Paul. Any questions? I'm so far ahead of all these motherfuckers, they don't even know. They don't even have a clue how far ahead. And I'm talking about all these motherfuckers. I'm not talking about YouTube. That's a joke. It's a bunch of fucking kids with pacifiers. I'm talking about all these financial media whores. Like Peter Schiff and David Stockman and the Nigerian knuckleheads. Okay? The Nigerian knuckleheads. The cryptocurrency fraudsters. Mr. Nigerian, who promoted John Caruso, the crypto king, Ponzi scheme guy, and promoted Voyager Digital, right?